Hello potatoes, it's Kato the Potato and welcome back to another video. I wanted to do a very simple, just vlog style video and kind of explain why I'm having to move to my new apartment, my whole apartment hunting journey, and just generally just talking about the whole situation because I haven't been able to update any of you guys on my channel. I've been kind of away, and the biggest reason was mostly because I didn't know where I was going to be able to live for the past few months. So yeah, let's get started. Of course it's like rush hour, so essentially I am a first-year student in college, and with a lot of colleges in the United States, they generally require first-year students, so freshmen, to live on campus. It's, you know, generally known to be because they want to get money for housing, like dorms and stuff like that, but also it's just generally good to have, you know, incoming freshmen be on campus and be able to know the place, just familiarize themselves with all the resources. And I definitely do agree. I've gotten this advice so many people. It's like, instead of commuting, just live on campus. It's probably the best thing that you can do. But unfortunately, I am a first-gen student, which means that I'm the first person in my family to go to undergrad in the United States, which means that I'm having to learn a lot of things on my own. One of the biggest things is the fact that I thought housing was required all throughout for all universities, especially on a scale like Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech does not require their first years to live on campus. You just have to apply for housing and get in. And of course, because I didn't know, I ended up applying very late to the whole housing pool, which meant that I was placed on a wait list for housing. And in general, like, it wasn't my biggest concern at first. Like, of course, like, you know, trying to figure out where to live during the school year was going to be difficult, but I live around 30 miles away from campus, which means it's around like a 45-minute drive. So I was like, if anything, I'm getting a car over the summer, I'll be able to drive to school. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. But of course, like, the closer and closer it got to move-in day and also the start of classes, it's been really difficult to manage. Yes, on a good day, it's like 45 minutes, but for example, my old schedule, it had an 8 a.m. in it, which meant I would have to get up really early in order to even get to class on time, because morning rush hour traffic is absolutely horrible. My 45-minute drive became like an hour and a half to 2 hours on really bad days. And of course, the housing wait list was just not kind to me. There were so many details and misunderstandings that happened while I was on the wait list, where I had to go from one wait list to another, and it just ended up becoming a whole big mess that I decided that I was going to look for off-campus housing that's near campus than I was at the moment, to hopefully be a bit better of a process for me. Let me just say, August and September are like the prime times of moving, and so many of the apartments had already been booked out. But I knew with the situation of, you know, driving, also just for personal reasons, I had to get a place. Now, even though I didn't have that many options, these are some of the things that I was thinking about when it came to apartment hunting. One, it had to be less than $1,000, and that was hopefully including utilities. Georgia Tech is in the city. It was kind of a lot to ask for, but that was what I was kind of hoping for, and I knew that there were possible places that could have that option. Two, it had to be close to campus. Obviously, it wouldn't solve the issue if it was cheaper, like out of the city, where I still had to drive. Like, it would defeat the entire purpose of me trying to get an off-campus place. And I guess the third thing is any place that would accept me without necessarily needing me to have a pay stub. It was really difficult to find a place that would accept, you know, an 18-year-old to rent out an apartment when it seemed like they couldn't afford it, even though I knew that I could. I was quite literally about to just take an offer that I wasn't completely satisfied with, until my section leader messaged me. Bless my saxophone section. You guys are the best if you guys ever watch this. But my entire saxophone section have been asking me since band camp, whenever I explain like I'm commuting right now because I'm on a housing wait list, they've all been so supportive and being like, if you need to, you can crash on the couch and we'll all be talking to people. They were all just like constantly asking me like, how's housing going? How's the wait list going? Have you found housing? Like just trying to look out for me as much as possible, and I really, really appreciated it. And my section leader, he was actually the one who messaged me saying, hey, I'm part of this neighborhood and this person actually needs someone to take their spot. And I jumped on it. I had already heard about this neighborhood and it being super duper close to campus, and it being actually at a pretty good price because it knew that students were the ones who were going to be living there, and it was literally the perfect option. It was under $1,000 with the utilities. It's actually $800 with utilities, which is probably one of the cheapest options that I've seen. It is super duper close to campus. I can probably walk there if I really wanted to. And the third thing was the specific building that I am renting out from is actually owned by the parents of pretty much like an acquaintance. I talked to the mom and she was very understanding of my situation, and we talked it out, and I was able to sign an agreement that, you know, I could fulfill and she also was satisfied with, and it just all came together. This is purely luck. Not every situation is going to be like this, so don't expect it to all like fall together and work like it happened to for me. It was really nice to finally find a place. Like, it has lifted something off of my shoulders to know that I have a place to be on my own, to not be in a toxic environment like I was beforehand, and, you know, to be close to campus and, you know, study and get a degree. Yeah, that was my whole apartment situation, why I'm having to move out, and me getting an apartment that I'll be living in until the end of the school year. So I'm super excited. I do have one roommate, but we don't share a room, which every single person that I've talked to is like, oh yeah, I got housing and I have my own room. And they're like, you have your own room as a first year, that's amazing. It's the best of anything that I could have asked for. So yeah, thank you guys so much for listening to this whole life rant of mine. It's been kind of hectic, but thank you guys so much for sticking around. Yeah, hope you have a great day. Wishing you the best as always. Cato, rolling on out.